What do you do about the narcissistic person who might do something nice but isn't nice? Let's take a look at another twist to the trauma bond. I'm going to set this up with some examples. A narcissistic person is in your life. The narcissistic person does something that you have needed done for a long time. They moved a piece of furniture. They fixed the car. They've finally given you a document you need, but they're a jerk about it. The thing gets done, and you asked them to do it for a while, and they ignored you or got mad at you. And then, like I said, one day you look up, it gets done. Another example is the narcissistic person does what looks like the right thing on paper. For example, they will always pick up out-of-town guests from the airport. They're willing to go, won't make them take a taxi or anything. Or they will always make sure that they get the thank you card out exactly on time, or remember to send the birthday gifts or wedding gifts, or they'll even wake up at 3 a.m. to take you to the airport. Or the narcissistic person has routines, pretty rigidly set routines that mean that things do get done. They keep the cars maintained. They walk the dog like clockwork. They always get the financial documents like the taxes dealt with. Another example, the narcissistic person is able to conduct themselves sort of culturally right and with good manners with family members or business associates or clients. They do everything right. They learn all the nuances, and they do it in a way that makes everyone look good. Or it is a special occasion, I don't know, an anniversary, a birthday, holiday, other celebratory day, and they get it just right. The gift is wrapped just right, the reservation at the right place, the bottle of champagne, I don't know, in the hotel room, the gift you want. So that's the behavior that happens. Good, right? They do the thing. They may even do the thing really well. But they are not nice about it. You're thinking, what do you mean? What do you mean they're not nice about it? I mean that they may do these things that I listed, and they're cold about it. They're dismissive. They may ultimately hold these things against you, that they did them, and then hold them against you. They may do these things, for example, always get those family members from the airport, but then they aren't very nice to them. Or they may do something that is not what needs to be done right now. For example, they will paint the bathroom on the day the fridge broke, and that needs to be the focus, and will tell you that you're being ungrateful for not appreciating their bathroom painting, and meanwhile, you got $400 worth of groceries spoiling on the counter. They will complain the entire time. They do the thing to the point that you think, oh, damn. I think living with those delivery boxes in the front of the house would have actually been easier than getting them to move them. But when we get down to it, whether they are nice or not nice about the helpful or maybe useful thing they did do something that is helpful to you. This concept of intention gets really tricky here, because you may be wondering, did they do that thing to be nice? Are they nice? Did they do it because it works for them? Why did they do it? And you're spinning around in a million directions wondering, but ultimately, you're like, well, the thing they did was useful. It was nice. It might have even been special. And if you are not accustomed to getting help or support because of being in this relationship, them doing something, especially if it is something you cannot do alone, like moving a heavy piece of furniture or getting a particular document taken care of or signed, we may find ourselves becoming overly grateful, both voluntarily and involuntarily fawny and even more trauma bonded. It really messes with our heads when they do these helpful, nice things, because one thing we talk about is that behavior is what matters above all else. For example, we often talk about how narcissistic people can have performative empathy. They can seem empathic in front of other people. So we focus on behavior as where the rubber meets the road. But when the behavior is useful, helpful, what we needed, maybe even special, then isn't that what matters? Okay, so they were mean about that airport pickup for my sister. Or maybe they were really snarling and rah about having to move the piece of furniture. Or they made some really nasty digs to you about how you are a gold digger or selfish when they gave you the gift that you had hoped for. They did the nice thing. So does it matter if they aren't nice? Some of you may even have thought, oh, can I really expect everything? That kind of thinking is what has messed with people's heads throughout these relationships. Many people will say, I really was getting my head around this narcissism thing. I was getting it. I could see how these patterns were showing up and the toll it was taking. But it didn't seem to fit my relationship because even though they're always saying grumpy and sometimes downright mean things to me and they gaslight me and they do treat me with a lot of contempt, they do what needs to be done. They run the errands, they plow the driveway, they cut the grass, they make the dinner, they get the groceries, they balance the books. So folks in these situations will say, but Dr. Ramani, the behavior is sort of right, even though it isn't right. They do the thing and they're mean about it. So you don't know what to do with it. This gets even heavier when it involves betrayal. The heavier stuff that can happen, whether that is habitual lying, cheating, breaking your confidences, breaking promises, because you may get lost in, they betrayed me, and you're really angry, and then they say, let me take the kids for a whole day so you can make a deadline, and then they even make dinner and put the kids to bed. Or maybe they lie to you about something, and then there's a lovely dinner or weekend away. Or they don't follow through on something important that they said they would. And they get mad at you. And you are mad. But then 2 weeks later, they do that thing and they do it well. Is that enough? Too late? These things are what feels like it should be black and white in these narcissistic relationships and make it very muddy and gray. The other challenge is that people aren't even sure how they should respond in these circumstances. People will say, when they do the thing I hoped for, or that was just the nice thing to do, or even sort of special, I find myself almost like being effusive and overly thankful. Oh my gosh, thank you. This is amazing. Thank you, thank you. Because if I don't thank them enough, then I'm judged to be ungrateful. But if I ask them something or ask for too much, then I'm demanding. So when they do the thing, when it happens, I'm sometimes so relieved, I respond in this excessive, overly grateful way, but I kind of have to. So you have to remember a key tenet in these relationships is, and you know the answer, you can't win. So if a person does useful or nice things, but is still manipulative, mean, invalidating, dismissive, can it still be narcissism? Yes. The manipulation, the meanness, the invalidation are all consistent with low empathy. And there's an entitlement to this idea of, I can treat you how I want, and you have nothing to say about it. And the manipulation can come from the idea that, hey, I do all the things that need to be done. What more do you want? Or basically, people feel silenced in relationships that work this way because I guess things are getting done. This is even more challenging if the thing that they are doing feels like a nice or special thing. They remember to get your favorite muffin. They cook something you enjoy when you've had a tough day. They make a reservation at a restaurant you like. But in this case, they behave terribly at dinner, or they grumble about making the dinner. They give you a gift you cherish. Each of these gifts, though, can start to feel like a poisoned cup after a while. There is a unique trauma bond amplifier here. You are stuck between the intermittent reinforcement, if you want to call it that, the inconsistent rewards, between them being sullen or angry or mean or dismissive, and then also getting things done or even doing nice things for you. You may feel that you are asking too much for there to be no anger or no dismissiveness or no sullenness, or that you're asking too much if you ask to be respected or not be gaslighted. If at the same time things are getting done or that nice things show up from time to time. What's the middle ground? What do you do? I'm going to give you an unsatisfying answer, but the answer is it depends. It depends on your tolerances, and that more than one thing can be true at the same time. Yes, they do things that need to get done, or ultimately do the thing that needed to be done, despite fighting you on it for weeks until you are exhausted. And yes, they do special things from time to time. And they are manipulative, cold, distant, passive-aggressive, active-aggressive, gaslighty, angry, contemptuous, or even betraying. And. Not but, and. Don't ask yourself the question, is it enough? Is a cut lawn and a plowed driveway and a fixed washing machine and a lobster dinner, are these things enough to offset the emotional abuse that goes along with them? Folks, that's the wrong question. Really, what you should be asking yourself is, can I clearly see what this is? Can I recognize that emotional abuse is not okay? And painting the bathroom is not an offset to calling me stupid about the refrigerator. And can I see that I am not in the wrong for recognizing that some, if not many of the things that they're doing in this relationship are not okay? And I'm telling you, recognizing that doesn't mean you have to get up and go or leave, but it does mean that you can recognize that you don't deserve that. A new sofa doesn't buy someone 6 months of having contempt for you. It's not a trade. And the confusion that comes when someone does a nice thing for you in a contemptuous way, someone sort of tossing a gift at you, here, you said you wanted this, and you open it, and yes, you wanted it. But to have it thrown at you, does that make the gift less? Yeah, it does. Process matters. This confusion of they do nice things, but they do it in a mean way, can not only keep people stuck in an ambivalent and confused space, but it can also leave people feeling as though they're the problem in the relationship, that you are the problem in the relationship. At a minimum, it is crucial to break out of that. Having a gift thrown at you, a person saying, so are you happy now? I took you to dinner and I got you the most expensive damn thing on the menu. Or, stop complaining, the stupid driveway is done. Or tossing a file folder on your desk and saying, okay, so am I off the hook now? It's easy to see why survivors often want to do things themselves or try to do everything themselves, because there is a point at which the thing getting done starts to make us feel sick. Gifts feel icky. And we live in perpetual guilt. Trauma bonds heal when we can tease this apart. Behavior is layered. It's not as simple as the task or chore or even the special thing. The intention, the behavior around it, the words and safety, they're all part of it too. Something getting done doesn't entitle someone to dehumanize you. Thanks again.